Hello guys, welcome to my channel Aishmarek. So this video is going to be a book review video. The lesson I learned from this book. I read this book a while ago, and during those times I was more focused on my health and fitness routine. Like I used it to develop some new healthy habits and it helped me a lot. Okay, so without further ado, let's move on to the book. This is by Charles Duhigg, and in his book he has broken down the habits into a three-step process. The habits are triggered by cues which lead ultimately into a routine, and those routines they culminate into a reward. In a nutshell, it means to develop a habit you need a cue. If you don't have the cue, your habit's not going to be developed, right? So keep that in mind. It's for both good and bad habits. Moving on, the second thing you need to know is that cues fall into different categories of location, time, emotions, actions of other people, and the preceding action of that habit. Okay, so this was the first lesson I learned from this book. And the next thing this book teaches us is that there's another component in this loop, and that is craving. Well, scientists figure out through experiments that in the initial stages of building a habit, our brain receives a spike of activity like a dopamine surge, which we achieve. Like when we achieve a target, we get this dopamine surge, okay? It's kind of a reward to the body. And as the time goes on and the habit is done over and over again, it becomes more ingrained. And the spike of activity starts to come even before the routine is gone through. It comes when the cue happens. So this means if you've been going through a specific cue many different times, your brain gets that spike of activity before even going through that routine, and you get this craving, the need to get the reward, and it's like self-perpetuating cycle that keeps the habit going. Now the book talks a lot about building good new habits and the breaking old bad ones, but it gives us this interesting lesson that people who want to break bad habits or are trying to make a change in their life are often more successful if they plan in advance what they'll be doing and what point is going to be their pain point. Like, they determine that when they can give up, when something difficult can come up. And the example Charles gave in his book was of people who had knee replacement surgeries. They have to go through lots of painful rehabilitation exercises, to gain the mobility of the knees. It needs a lot of willpower, and not all of them have this courage to go through it. So the researchers say that people who planned it out all, like the point which was going to be painful for them, and they planned it out all in a way the rehabilitation process could become easier for them, they were more likely to recover. And finally, the lesson I got is that some habits lead to other habits, like they are called the keystone habits. They kind of help you achieve smaller wins, and they lead ultimately to the larger wins. They boost your overall motivation. And well, these were the 5 life lessons I learned from this book. What feels great? The feeling you get when you set out to accomplish a target and you actually achieve it, the feeling is amazing. I was literally serious for building some productive habits during those times. So I just chose this book in the first place. And the first keystone one was that getting up early in the morning. When I got up early in the morning, it led me to go on a running routine every day. It helped me eat healthy, and it was so fun. The feeling of accomplishment you have, the ultimate dopamine surge is just fantastic. I've started this new series of life lessons, book reviews, and that sort of stuff videos, and don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I have some articles on medical fiction ones and stories written on my vocal website. Don't forget to give them a check. Still recommend reading this book, and I hope this video helped you in some sort of way. And stay happy, good reading, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video in case you found it helpful. Until then, Allah Hafiz and bye bye.